Today I'm going to be going over the SoulMask regular update 8 that we have been given here, or the Hotfix 8. What we've seen is some pretty big updates and changes, so I wanted to keep you all in the loop with these. If you do enjoy the video, please do drop me a like and a subscribe down below. Both of those things are massively appreciated, and let's jump straight into this. So first things first, we have some gameplay adjustments here, and you can see that firstly, custom built portals now allow teleporting tribesmen. I did recently make a video on the teleporting and how that works, fast travel in SoulMask, and I said that this was only available in some versions of the game, obviously if you've changed the settings in the private servers, but now this is obviously available throughout all of the servers, including official, going by this statement here, which is really good because it means transferring your bases in SoulMask is much easier, especially now that you can take your tribesmen with you, albeit you still can't take all of the items necessarily, again depending on the server settings, but this is a massive upgrade. Also, Holy Ruins and Pyramids now have cross-regional portals, so if you are wanting to transfer to a different server and play on the character that you're currently on, you can of course do that as well from these locations. In single-player, LAN and private server modes, the maximum number of bonfire portals can now be adjusted. In the official server mode, the maximum number of constructible portals has been increased to 10. You can see these new options if you go into the settings for your server or your private world, whichever one you are on. Obviously, if you're the server owner, you'll see this. If you're playing on a public server or an official server, these options won't be enabled. But you can see here that we have just under where the info of entry limit is. You can see that you've got the limit of personal bonfires, which you can put all the way up to 100. And also limit of tribal bonfires, which you can also put up to 100. On top of this, you've got the limit of portals, which is set at 10 by default, but again can go up to 100. As well as this, a couple of other things that they've added with this update that we're going to touch on the notes for in just a second are the max load multiplier effective upon server restart, up from 1 to 100. And the character backpack capacity, which again is effective upon server restart or a character revival, is default at 60 but can go all the way up to 256 available slots. So you can really customize how you want to play the game, and of course these two work hand in hand because the more amount of slots that you have in your backpack, the more max load that you're going to want to allow your character to have. So if you are playing on those private or LAN servers, this is going to be some great options to mean that you're going to have to do less trips when you go out gathering resources. You'll see here that it says on the notes, in the same modes, a morale cost switch has been added. When disabled, there won't be any morale cost for tribesmen during daily activities. And also in the same mode, a construction height limit has been added to disable height restrictions. But please note that activating the height limit switch may result in the collapse of portions of previously over height constructions. Players can now adjust the load coefficient in the mentioned modes, and character backpack capacity can now be customized, which is the settings that we just saw at the end of that other segment there as well. Added new guard statuses and golden statuses to the 5 major bosses. New modified gear now comes with a higher max durability by default. Raise the comfort level cap up to level 10, which is very important because again, with that you're going to be able to get more body XP levels, so that's really good. Plunderer elites and bosses now spawn with battering rams of the corresponding levels, so if you are again playing on PvP, this is going to be a great way to get some of those stocked up. Cooking stoves and worktops now support all of the bonfire recipes. Small scorpions now spawn in the volcano area, and the nature enlightenment mask can now summon mammoths, which is huge, literally and gameplay speaking as well. Now, game optimizations, we've seen some very cool things here as well. Firstly, they have adjusted the durability recovery speed for certain constructions during building and repairing. Bolt damage has been increased and the firing rate has been enhanced. Wooden Man now supports a quick switch feature for outfits, which is going to be really good if you are getting raided in a PvP server, or if you just want to make multiple different setups for different types of content in the game, even if you're on PvE, this is pretty cool. Added level loading safeguards for single player and LAN hosts to avoid NPCs getting trapped under the landscapes. Again, really crucial because this was happening in a few different locations, so that now should be cleared up. Updated the modules for the dungeon mechanisms and keys. Optimized icons for various throwable items to make them much easier to distinguish. That's really cool. Shortened the hit stun duration for grease tanks, allowing players to roll out of the affected area as hit stun nears its end. This is personally my favourite change of this entire patch because this was very annoying when you're trying to attack the barbarians and you're constantly getting stunned and kind of locked in place by these grease canisters, so I'm very glad about that. Tribesmen can now be restricted from using chairs, bathtubs and beds. remove the option that forbids others from using chairs. Visual enhancements have been made to the building and destruction of certain constructions like anti-climb thorns, ground spikes and roads blocks, etc. The tribe alarm sound effect has been refined upon alarm activation. Corresponding atmospheric music plays throughout the tribe's territory. Added sound effects for taking damage from thorns and cacti. Optimized sound effects for the skills of the central core bosses, which is again really good because that's going to make it much easier to predict what's happening and when you need to dodge. Transport of small animals in the llama's wicker baskets now comes with an alert if an item is dropped out of the small animal's backpack. So if you're dropping any items out of that small animal's backpack that you are transporting, you'll be told about that. And increase the XP reward for defeating mechanical creatures within the dungeons. Again, this is great because it just means as you're going through these bits of content, you are going to be able to get yourself some extra awareness XP and proficiency and stuff like that. So that is really good. I've also done a few bug fixes here, which I'll just leave up on the screen if you want to go ahead and read through these to see for yourself. And on top of that, they've also done the list of servers with the cross feature enabled is as follows. You can see those ones as well down there. So a few different ones from different regions. So again, if your server is on there, you will have the cross server feature enabled. Now, this is a really good update. Like I said, there's lots of very useful things added. The grease tanks for me, probably one of the best things, but also looking at those options to be able to further customize your solo, co-op and LAN games is really nice, and I think in SoulMask really stands out, and you can really see that the devs are listening to the community feedback there, which is fantastic. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If it has, please do leave me a like and a subscribe down below. Both of those things are hugely appreciated, and other than that, I will catch you again very shortly in a brand new upload. So take care and peace.